Good morning, good evening, whatever it is right now for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. We are now going to discuss what our code looks like for the Foundations of Smart Systems Assignment 4. Let's run it. I would like to go over the code, but let's run and see how it is. You can also see the output in the document. Let's see. Where are we? There we go. I think this should be visible now, right? Okay. So in the meantime, as you can see, I have two imports here. I am using matplotlib .pyplot as a means of actually displaying this plot, and now you can see it on the screen, hopefully. Very nice, it works. And then our next import is from SciPy, which does essentially the linear regression itself. So the way most of these assignments or codes work is that you need something to actually compute the values, you need something to actually compute the function itself, but to display it, we need, for example, matplotlib, so that it's actually visible out there. But what is really happening here? Well, I took this code snippet from V3 schools, basically most of it, and the way it looks like is that we have two data sets here. We have an X and a Y. The X, as you might have already read, X denotes the hours that students spend daily on their phones, and Y is the results of their game development project assignment out of 100 points, with the possibility of being able to get more than 100 points if the project is so outstanding. And then here is where the magic happens. This is where the slope and the intercept for the linear regression function is being computed. So the way this works is that we have this stats.linregress, and this function returns a tuple. I think if I click on this, we can even see it. It's now fetching the documentation. It's really nice. I can just look at this. And here you can also read that the return value for this function is like a tuple with length 5. So it returns 5 things. We don't really need to know about these last three, I think. That's not really relevant. But what is relevant for us is the slope and the intercept, because the way that this linear regression works is that we take our data set, we take the X, we take the Y values, and then from there we compute the slope and the intercept that our linear regression function is going to have. So what we do next, we define a function that for each X value is going to compute the Y value of this. It's basically like passing the X value into the function and getting the Y value out. And as we have that, we have this function working now. We just gotta call it every single time we have an X value. So for all the X values that we have in this array, we call this function, and so we map these values, the Y values that we get out of the function, we map all of this and we turn it into a list, and this is going to be essentially our model. And then for the rest of it, we are basically just dealing with the plot. As you can see, it's starting with plot, 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 plot. Because now we are just working on how we are going to display this. So now we actually have the linear regression itself. We have the data points that we have to display the linear function itself, but now we just need to display it. So first we are scattering the X and Y. So if you took at the graph, these dots here, these are the scatter plot data points. And then we are also plotting this my model. My model is basically the linear regression itself, and that's how it works. And then here I'm just defining the title so that it makes some sense and making the diagram visible. So thank you so much for watching. Have a nice rest of your day.